Who with me? It's us. We back. To be continued. Who with us? Come here. Who with me? Part two. They let the beast out in me. Come here. I'm just ready to have a little fun with it. Come here. All right, who with us? Who with us? Who with us? Welcome to Wyatt-Live extension to part 2. We right here with it. I don't feel like I moved. Who's all in the building with us right now? It's only a few. That's okay. We're going to make it do what it do, baby. We're going to make it do what it do. Welcome back. Guess who's back? Brenda Early comes in and says, happy Friday. Who they? Yeah. Tracy Dillingham is in here saying 2 a day. Well, baby, you know, as we get older, we do it better. So we're gonna try 2. We're gonna try another one. Stephen Speed comes in and he says, snow truck finally hit my street. Good evening, Wyatt-Live family. Freestyle Friday. That's exactly what it is, because I have no notes. All I have right now, Tracy Dillingham, for your information, is my bologna sandwich. My bologna has a first name. My bologna has a second name. And if you're wondering, it's mayo. It's mayonnaise. That's right, Tracy. It's mayonnaise. It's not that Hillman or whatever it was, that stuff you talking about. You know, y'all sedity rich people eat that. Never had it before. Tracy Dillingham says I was talking football. Football? You say you want one too, a bologna sandwich? Well, guess what? Normally, I rotate, and I'll do a bologna sandwich one day, peanut butter and jelly the second day. You know, I'm on my second bologna sandwich today. Not today, but yesterday I did bologna. But I didn't do the show yesterday, so I figured, why not do something to make up from yesterday? Today, earlier, we went on at 10 o'clock. And I didn't end. Let's see, 10, 11, 12. I didn't end till like almost 2. Now, there's a couple people that can definitely outdo me. I'm not one. I don't have, like, when it comes to this podcast and talking, like, I can talk, but I can't go 4 hours straight. I tried. I was trying. But damn. But let me just tell you, today's conversation I felt was more powerful than a lot of others. I'm gonna try to find something real fast. Because some good information came up, and damn it, I'm not quite sure if I know where it is. But I should have tried to find it before I came on the air. But basically, what it was is I spoke with Damon Lynch earlier today on the phone. And what's crazy is it was a great conversation. And Tiffany Daniels says, I only like garlic bologna. Boy, you uppity black folks. Privileged. We ate anything called bologna. I don't know if it was garlic bologna. I don't know. I doubt it. Garlic sound like that costs extra. Is garlic bologna extra? If it is, it's not the one I eat. Is garlic bologna for privileged black folks? Is that what it is? If it costs 20 cents more or 15 cents more or $1 more, I certainly didn't eat the shit. I ate the bologna that you had to generally buy in the pack. I don't even think we ate the cut bologna. Swartz had a deli up there, and Harry's had a dairy when I was a child, and we never got cut bologna. We always had to buy it in the pre-pack. Or we had the Myers bologna, I don't know. But the garlic bologna, you throwing me off, sis. Garlic, you making this bologna thing confusing. I just eat the bologna. It's probably the worst. I'll probably eat the bad one for you. The one that's bad for you. That's the one I eat. That's the tasty one. I eat the one that ain't no good for you. That's it. It's probably like hot dogs. I don't know. But the garlic bologna, I don't know what y'all doing with that one. Tiffany laughing at us. Jenny says, good evening, Wyatt-Live family. What's up? Kenny, Angela Kenny comes in and says, solutions. I'm probably so rude, nasty, and obnoxious right now because I'm the only podcaster who comes on the air on podcast or radio eating a bologna sandwich. I didn't offer anybody any. I mean, I try not to smack when I eat. I hate that. But who else you know? Who else do you know come on the air eating a bologna sandwich? Eating, period. No one. That's the authenticity of us. We just so freaking real over here, yo. You know, if I really wanted to be one of them cloudy, froggy brothers, I could be like, oh, bonjour, Narita. A freshly baked sandwich my maid made for me. That my call service made for me, packaged nice and softly with a ribbon on top with a chocolate on the side. Y'all would hate my ass if I told you that's what I did. You would hate me. I actually hijacked a bologna sandwich one time off of a flight. I took a flight that had food, and this is a real freaking story. I took a bologna, it wasn't really bologna, it was like a ham and cheese with all this other shit on it. Like it was a freaking gourmet, I don't know. It was a gourmet cold cut sandwich. Y'all know what I mean? You know how they add the little shit and the little the all stuff around the edges. It was gorgeous. It looked good, but it couldn't touch my bologna sandwich. I jacked it. I thought I was being slick. I stole it off the flight, put it in my jacket, got all the way home. It was like, I don't even have to fix my own sandwich. I got me one. Took it out. Took a few things off of it that I didn't really care for. You know, they had some tomatoes on it. I don't really do all that. I'm a basic guy. Got that motherfucker home. Took everything that I wanted off of it. Sat down, took a bite, and was like, "This ain't bologna." I mean, this is a gourmet fucking cold cut sandwich. What's up with this? It wasn't nothing. It was, you know, I got to have mine got to be grimy. It's got to be like. Here's the thing. I ration it out on mine. When I make my bologna sandwiches, I put just a little mayonnaise on it. We had to make mayonnaise stretch. You couldn't just drop mayonnaise all over the place on it. We made everything stretch. Oh, yeah. So I put very little mayonnaise on it. My game of eating is a struggle game. Especially the shit that reminds me. It keeps me grounded. Is that fair to say? Is it fair to say? Tracy Dillingham says, see your ass will be locked up abroad for stealing a ham sandwich. Yeah, I guarantee you, if I ever go to jail, it's probably gonna be for some dumb shit. Now, I would never say this to anybody but the Wyatt-Live family. I got a confession. I've had $1,000 in my pocket at one time, and I still stole something. I'm so ratchet. I ain't gonna tell you where. I ain't gonna tell you what it was, but I will tell you it was less than $1. Yeah, right around $1. And I probably had about $1,100-1,200 on me in my pocket, and I still stole it. Oh, I know y'all thought I was Mr. Goodbar. Well, I'm not gonna tell you when this was. It was nowhere near. Let's just say that I wasn't who I am today, mentally, and maturely. I just wasn't that. So yeah, I've had a lot of money. And don't act like y'all haven't done it. There's some people right now that's like, damn, me too. I can't believe that he did that shit, but I know I did it too. I know I took a newspaper out of the newspaper machine and I didn't pay for it, and I had $200 in my pocket, and I know I could have paid a quarter for that paper, but I just didn't have no change. Well, I took something that was right around $1, and my smallest bill was probably like $50. I'm not about to break no $50 for this shit. Catch me on the next one. I'll leave extra the next time I come in here and pay. I mean, I probably was a problem. Where do we start? It's Freestyle Friday, right? TC says, okay then. Okay then, 2 shows in one day. Who they? For real? Who they? For real? Okay. Should I put the who they up on the screen? Because y'all don't want to see. Let's put the who they up on the screen. Let's put who they up there. Stripe hype. We ain't gonna talk much Bengals, but I'm not rocking my Bengal gear. But I got background, Bengal background, and I got the hype stripe up on the screen. We gonna talk though. I'd like to talk about a couple things before we get into our weekend. It might be some shit that I need to wait. I mean, like I need some time to lick my wounds. Might need some time to lick my wounds. I want to find this clip if I can. I got something I'm gonna show you guys. I know the one clip, okay? But there's another clip that I want to show you all. It's of a man being, some would say harassed at a Westchester Myers in the Cincinnati area, suburbs of the Cincinnati area. Now, of course, I got to make it fit the way it needs to be presented. And that is, he's a black man who was falsely accused of stealing some shit. And here I am, a black man, admitting that I stole some shit. I got a little story for this, and I want to find out from some people if they with me or not on this situation. Have you ever been accused of stealing something and you didn't do it? You just flat out didn't do it. Hold on. You ain't had nothing to do with it. It wasn't you. It was somebody else in the store or somebody, Have you ever been accused of stealing something out of a store and it wasn't you? And then the police or the store detectives come in and search you. What's that? Or not necessarily search you, but detain you for questioning. Jenny, you might like this story. Jenny says, love Westchester Meyer, so I don't like this story. You follow me. Jenny, I think you'll respect where I'm coming from in this. Jenny, can I ask you a personal question? It's just me and you. Ain't nobody paying attention. You ever been accused of stealing something and you didn't do it? Did it kill you? I mean, did it make you feel less than a human being? I done had people that look like me accuse me of more shit, of stealing, taking money from people, all this old one shit, and it didn't make me feel, I wasn't embarrassed. But why is it every time we get falsely accused about something, we always think it's because we was black? Oh, yeah, I know. I only got a few people on here today, so I can say what I want to say the way I want to say it and say it how I'm going to say it. Let me put my sandwich, the other half of my sandwich out, because I'm feeling like it right now. Jenny, you ever been? Has anybody ever been? She said, yeah, my granny was stealing, though. Tiffany Daniel, yeah, Mom, yeah. And here it is. I was in Cincinnati. This was in November. Yeah, November, because we were shopping for Christmas. And we were at the Liberty Town Center, Dick's. Okay? My wife and I. Store was on E. Store was empty of customers. Nobody was really there. And there was more, let's put it like this. In that mall, in Liberty Mall up there, it was very empty. The Dick's was empty. But let's just say there were more employees in Dick's than there were customers. Okay? And I'm walking around and I'm trying to find some things for my daughter for Christmas. And, you know, my two daughters, my wife and I, we looking around and they got some good shit. You know, Dick's is Dick's, right? So we picking up all the Nike gear. And of course, I look at a couple brothers, little young dudes. And then they had this one little dude. He looked like he might have been Filipino or something of that nature. And he was rocking with him. He could have just been a white kid that looked like he was with a dark hair that looked Filipino. I don't know. It don't really matter to me. It wouldn't have mattered. It don't matter. But let me tell you what happened. I'm carrying a few items in my hand and I'm watching them kill the store. I'm watching them. Ain't my job, ain't my problem, right? This is where I stay out of the way. So I'm watching them. I don't know if I want to hear this one today. I'm watching them steal shit. I'm watching them put all this stuff on hangers and everything, fold it up and put it in a big ass bag. I'm watching them do it. I'm watching the staff as well not say anything. I'm watching the staff watch these guys. And I'm looking like, I'm watching little young girls that work there watch these guys and play like they're ignoring them. And I watch these guys put shit in the bag. And I'm talking about hundreds of dollars. It don't take long to get to $1,000 in Dick's, trust me. These guys were stuffing shit in the bag like it was nothing, like there was no ramification, there was no penalty. They stuffed it in the bag, walked right past me. Dude did me like this. What up, OG? Walked right past me, 3 of them. Walked right by the counter and walked right out to the mall, and the alarm went off. I kind of told this story before. Dee. They kept walking like it wasn't shit. They didn't even care. Dee. The little girl who was working the register said, sir, to them. Sir. They kept walking. They know the routine. They not gonna stop me. There's no problem. We can grab what we want, put it in the bag, and just leave. Just leave. Jenny says, most theft are from Caucasians, known fact. I don't care who's stealing the most. You're right. You're right, because the population, I mean, come on now. There's more white people than there are black people. We all do the same stuff. So, of course, the numbers are going to show that they do more than what we do. I keep telling y'all, people used to argue that welfare talk. I'd be like, what the fuck you talking about? There's more white people on welfare than there are black people. So, I mean, I already get all that. But I'm just asking a question. Have you ever? Well, see, Tracy Dillingham, I ain't buying that. I feel y'all, y'all gonna be on, everybody gonna be on my ass today about this one. But I'm gonna show you something that I discovered. She says, I wouldn't have stopped them either. Dick's will be okay. Yeah, they gonna be okay. They gonna be okay. And they gonna be okay passing those numbers down to us. When they take shortages or shrinkage and all that shit, eventually the prices of stuff go up. You don't think people pay for crime? I'm not talking about the people that steal it. You don't think that people pay for crime? You don't think the everyday citizen pay for crime? Let me tell you how I know that to be true. When I took my ass to the register and paid the $380 my bill was, and I seen them walk out with $1,000 worth of shit. You know, I felt stupid. I felt dumb as hell. I felt like, well, why don't I just go get them and give them the money that I'm about to spend, and I could probably pay half. So why are we so ignorant to believe that when stores take losses, that the innocent don't pay the price for it? We do. When their insurance premiums go up, they charge more for us, the consumer. Well, let me answer a couple questions, and then I'll keep on going to my point. That markup on merchandise is theft. No, it's not. Come on, Tracy. Come on now. No, it's not. If you want cheaper clothes, go to Walmart and get a tracksuit. Walmart tracksuit is never going to be the quality that a pure quality Nike tracksuit would be. You get what you pay for. Come on, of all people, I expect you to really understand and know that one. You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. I shouldn't have to be, my prices on what I get shouldn't go up because they trying to make up the shrinkage on me. That's what happens. You know that, right? At the end of the year, when they start looking at the bottom line of what they made on what and what the shrinkage is and all this, don't hit me with the internal theft. Don't hit me with all that bullshit. That all plays a part too. But stop thinking that when people commit crimes out here, that other people don't pay the cost for it. I can tell you right now, one of the main reasons why this clip I'm going to show you of people who get stopped in stores who fit the description is sometimes fitting the same description of the person that walked out and never got stopped. The only way they can get stopped is they have to call the police. They have to call store security. As an employee, little girl at Dick's told me, we're not allowed to stop them. We can ask, halt, stop. They're not going to stop. They're not going to halt. So what's the solution? Just let them walk, right? Let them walk out. So who pays the cost? You know, one of the reasons why a lot of shit costs so much is not just because of greed. It's not just because the company making a whole bunch of money off of you. There's cost of doing business. You pay $100 for a tracksuit, you'll say, oh, this is $100. Well, they got them for $24.99, the whole suit over at Walmart. Go copy 3 of them. You don't want to walk around looking like Bobo. Stop. Hold on. Tiffany Daniel says, yep, the consumer pay for that. Of course we do. Come on now. I know when the business people tuned in. I know the dollars and cents people. But I'm not going to sit up here and make no excuses. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you one thing that happened to me. You know how Fifth Third in Cincinnati is connected to Kroger's? I was in line at Fifth Third to make a deposit, my company's deposit. I happened to volunteer to go over to the Fifth Third Bank. I was going to Kroger. Something came up where I said, I'll take the deposit over. I take the deposit over. I'm standing in line. And this happened actually, I believe, in Middletown, Ohio. I'm standing in line. And as I'm standing there, I see a female police officer, a white female police officer who walks up to me. I could tell she was looking at me. And I was like, damn, is she looking at me because she liked me, or did I do something, or what? She walks over to me. Once another officer came on the scene, he was over there and she came over and approached me. Now I'm starting to feel the heat. I'm feeling the heat of what's going on. So she grabs me, not grab me like, ugh. She just kind of put her hand on my shoulder and said, sir, can you step over here with me? I said, whoa, what's going on? Let me tell you, let me, because I'm going to make a point. I want you to hear exactly how I said it. She grabbed me. She said, sir, you mind coming over here with us? I said, whoa, what's going on? Can I help you? What happened? I wasn't defensive. I didn't get crazy with it. I just needed an explanation. Now I'm over there as a business owner with a deposit in the Fifth Third Bank line. I want to know what's going on, but I'm willing to do what she tells me to do because I don't know what it is. I don't know what the problem is. So evidently, this is what was going on. Someone was coming over to the Fifth Third Bank and was making, I don't know, was doing something with some fraudulent checks, I'm assuming, because that's what they told me at the end. And I, in some kind of way, fit the description. I fit the description of who's been doing it. Now, if we got people out there that look like me that's doing this shit, I have to have a clear mind. I have to clearly understand that there's somebody out here that look like me that's doing this shit. They ain't just fucking with me. And how I really come to this way of thinking is the shit that I see that's going on out here. See, you got to be living under a rock to think that people ain't out here doing no bad shit. And if you're willing to sit back and try to act like victim all the time and you ain't got no reason to put your hands on me, you ain't got no reason. If you're going to do all of that, listen, I'm going to show this video, okay? And I want to know if y'all think the brother went to the extreme. Do you feel that he has a lawsuit? Do you feel this man has a lawsuit? And I only can speak from experience, and I can only tell you from some of the things that I've seen. Now, it's funny how when certain people get held up in a store, not necessarily just Myers, and TJ Maxx, and all this old other shit. I'm about to say it. I ain't got no other way to say this shit. I'm going to keep it 100. It's funny how the same people who get pulled over in these stores look like the same booster that y'all mess with. Fit the same description. Ain't that funny? But you got a problem when the store security or the store call the police and say there's somebody in here with a brown jacket on. It looked like they stole something. You got a problem when the store detective or the store or the police grab or say something to the wrong person. But yeah, you the same person that'll go buy some panties from Victoria's Secret off of a booster. You'll buy a Nike bomber jacket that's $200. You'll buy it from the booster for $100. You the same one. You the same one. Stop. You're being contradictory. You are just totally being contradictory to your principles and morals and what you really truly think you believe in. Stop. Hold on, let me disconnect this thing real fast. Stop. Oh, girl, shit. They tripping down there talking about welfare fraud. They tripping. You the same one that'll buy food stamps off of somebody. You the same one get the what's that card called? What's that card called? Somebody wake me up. The food stamp card. She got a $200 card that you can buy for $100. But yeah, you the same one to be like, they be tripping on people who getting that welfare fraud. Oh my God, how them kids supposed to be eating? How them kids gonna eat? They be tripping. They be tripping on people on them with them cars. But yet you the same one that'll go buy, and you know that's fraud on your end and on their end. Same one. So let me get to this. EBT, there you go. Damn, Johnny, all the way down in Atlanta, we gotta hear from you. I got people in Cincinnati watching, and I got my brother Johnny Robinson on. We go way back. Him and I lived in Europe together, played ball together. What's up, man? Tell Corvell what's good. Oh, you're in Detroit. Oh, shit. No wonder you tuned in. I was talking bad about Detroit earlier today. And I know I get jumped. I get jumped messing around in Detroit. You know, my family live in Detroit. So I got to be careful what I say about the D, because they don't play. And they don't let shit go. I might go up there 2 summers from now, and they'll be like, hey, bro, remember? It was February the 4th. You was talking that shit. February the 4th? Yeah. February the 4th of this year. Johnny said, I heard you. That's why you coming back now on this show, to make sure that I ain't going to say nothing else, right? You know how y'all Detroit boys do shit. Now, Corvell, his brother, is my best friend from school. We played ball together. We all ran in the same circle. and those my Detroit boys. And what it is we had the same mentality going to a school. We were around a bunch of military kids, military brats, if that's what they call them in the real world out here. And they're my brothers from Detroit, from the D. And Carvel, Johnny could probably tell y'all some stories that I'm not proud of. I was involved in some circles back in the day. I probably was the ringleader of some of them circles. And it's some shit that I'm not really proud of, but I grew out of it. I grew to be a better man, Johnny. I'm no longer, that guy that I used to be. Matter of fact, we got a mutual friend. I shouldn't say this on the air. I'm not going to say his name, but good evening, Brenda Harris. I'm not going to say his name, Johnny, but I reached out to him like 10 years ago through Facebook. One of my good friends that I DJ'd with back in the day over in Europe, right? And dude couldn't believe, as cool as we was buddies every day hanging, making beats together, in the studio together. And when I reached out to him after not seeing him for 30 years or whatever, 10 years ago, I reached out to him and he was like, huh? Who? Boy, I thought you would be dead. I said, dead? Damn. Dead? Like I was that bad? Dead? Yeah, I thought you'd be dead, bro. Fuck, who you think what do you think? I was never reckless. What do you mean? Now, he said, I thought you would be dead, or I thought you would be in the porno business. I said, oh, nah, bro, do you know who you talking to? Do you know me? This is me. Fuck are you talking about? And Johnny, you probably know who I'm talking about, bro, but he broke my heart with that bullshit. I mean, how could you think that of me 30 years later? Like, what did you really think of me back then? I must have been a freaking monster. I thought you'd be dead. How would you feel if you seen somebody at your 20th or 30th class reunion and she looked at you and was like, girl, shit, you still alive? I thought you'd be dead by now. I mean, damn. What were you thinking of me back in the day? Shit, I loved your family. I had love for y'all. Damn, nigga, I can only imagine what you used to say about me when I wasn't around. But you living the way I thought you'd be living, that's for damn sure. And I don't mean to shoot no shots. If I said his name, y'all be tripping. He living the way I thought he'd be living, because I remember when we was younger, in high school, he loved the pink, he loved them ones. He ended up with one. He living life to the fullest. So I was like, okay, I'm still alive and you still who you were. So let's move on. Johnny, if you know who I'm talking about, hit me later, brother, if you can, and we can probably have a good laugh on that one. But let me get back to this little point that I was making. I'm in the Fifth Third Bank, and I lightweight got detained by a police officer, female, that I could tell something wasn't right, the way she was looking at me. It wasn't the googly eyes like, I think you're cute, boy. It wasn't that. It was a stare like, I'm trying to figure out if he a good guy or a bad guy. It was that type of stare. So a couple seconds go by and she come over after her backup going to the door, and she comes over and hits me on the shoulder and says, sir, can you come with me for a second? She gets me out of the line. And I'm like, whoa, what's this about? Sure, but can you at least tell me as we walk in what's going on? Well, yeah, I'll explain over here. Just step out of the line so people can go around you and, blah, blah, blah. She was nice to me. She was stern. She was firm, but she was nice to me. Sir, just in case. Look, you can't be out here dealing with criminals and arrest somebody with a smile on your face. Come on, put them cuffs on. All right, baby. What, your back itch? Go ahead, scratch your back before I put these cuffs on, because you're going to be here now for a while. They don't do shit like that. They got to take a mental control of you. That's part of the job. It's part of the job. And black folks, don't get to tripping on me, because y'all cheered the brother out in Winton Terrace when the brother cop fussed down the brother when he pulled a gun out. What the fuck you doing? Put the fucking gun up. Put that gun up. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to talk to you like that because they want to mentally take you over. That's part of it. Oh, I know if it was a white cop. Listen how he talking to that brother. All the brother did was pull a gun out. Damn, he didn't even shoot yet. He didn't even shoot yet. Look at how they talking to him. It's a mental control. So I understand. You got to open your mind up to some of these things. So the lady pulled me to the side and I'm like, yes, ma'am, what is this about? I'm here to make a deposit. And then I look at the bank manager who looks back over and I see the bank manager say, no, that's not him. That's not him. And then the police officer said to me, sorry about that. My apologies. There's something going on where we have a regular coming in right around this time. You fit his description. She pulled the thing out, looked at it, looked at me. She said, you fit the description. My apologies. Now, am I in a position to just be clocking out? Should I be like, oh, y'all just tripping on me because I'm a black man can't come in the bank? I can't come in here and make a deposit. I can't. Why am I going to the high links when I know deep down inside shit like this is going on in the real world? Just like if they would have pulled me to the side at the Dick's. Oh, I would have probably had a problem. I'd have probably been like, wait a minute, whoa, y'all seen the real motherfucker. Y'all seen who stole shit up out of here. You seen them. I know y'all seen them. And you gonna come at me? That's the only reason why I would have a problem if somebody thought I was stealing at Dick's. But if there was a report, oh, you seen a guy with a polo light blue hoodie on, sticking shit in his pants, and the police show up, that means somebody from the store called and said they seen me. Now I'm more upset at the phone call that falsely accused me of something than I am when the police show up and want to question me. Why do I have a problem with the police when they show up to question me from a phone call that they got? These cops don't just walk into the store and say, let's see who we can fuck with real quick. That ain't what's going on. Stop it. And stop pushing these, pandering these videos like that. That's not what's going on. Somebody called. I'm going to show this video, and I want y'all to tell me if this man took it too far. Did he take it too far? Do you feel he has a lawsuit? It's a black man who gets pulled over, not pulled over, but a black man who gets lightweight detained. I don't know if that's detaining, but yes, it is detained. Some people think detain means when you put handcuffs on someone and ask questions. No, detaining is when the police officer asks you for your full divided attention and no, you can't leave. You can't walk away because we're questioning you. That's a detaining. So he, to me, officially gets detained, no handcuffs, and he's fitting the description of what the store detectives call in and say. Now, if somebody did that and the police walk into the store and they grab you because you fit a description, are you upset? Are you in a position where you feel like you want to sue? And you did all the talking. Here's the thing. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. I'm gonna play the video and then I want you to tell me. Like, okay, let me just play the video because I can play it again. It's about 1 minute and 20 seconds long. I'm gonna play this video, excuse me, and then I want you to tell me if this is a problem. If this is a problem, check it out.
Hey, boss. Come talk to me. Yeah. How you doing, man? Take your hands out of your pockets for me. How you doing?
I'm doing well until I got stopped. What's up?
Yeah, LP called and said that you were concealing some items inside your jacket.
Who do I sue?
Huh?
Who do I sue when you don't find shit? Come get this on film.
Well, that's what
Who do I sue?
No, we're just trying to figure it out.
Like I said, we got a call that LP is following somebody. Okay, let's say you've got a brown jacket on. Okay, jacket
That's
underneath.
I walked in here 5 minutes after you guys walked in. I saw you walk in. So how could they see me
Sir,
steal some shit?
I have no idea.
Get this on film, please.
Yeah. So that's what, again, that's why we're here just trying to figure it out.
So what do you want? What do you want me to do?
If you have things concealed.
What did they say? A black man did it?
No,
sir.
Well, what did they say?
tan jacket.
Because I walked in here after you guys.
Listen.
Yep.
This isn't tan.
Do you have any items in your jacket?
Hell yeah, I got items in my jacket.
Okay.
The items that I walked in here with behind you guys.
Okay.
Clear one in custody.
Let me know who else. We just take him to the office.
Yeah, I'm taking over the office.
Intentional cars below for reckless driver. 747.
Okay, as you can see at the end, I'll talk about the discussion. Okay, that was there. I'll talk about that here in a second. But as you can see in the end, there was a black police officer and a white police officer. So the black police officer was just as guilty as stopping the brother. How is this racial? The brother made it racial. I know y'all gonna cut me off. I already know. Well, Wyatt, you didn't gave us 2 doses, and this second dose today, no, this is a dud, bro. I just want to know. This is a hot, fresh story in Cincinnati right now. This brother's gonna sue. He's filing a lawsuit. This is from Westchester in Cincinnati. Westchester, what is the Myers of Westchester, in the suburbs of Cincinnati, Ohio. He's gonna be suing. He's suing them for $25,000 in defamation or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the lawsuit was, but it is a $25,000 lawsuit that he's filing. He's saying that you wrongly accused him of stealing something. The loss prevention of the store called the police, Westchester police, and said someone was stuffing something in the jacket. The brother said, that's not me. But then it got to the point of, come film this. I'm all aboard with filming. Yes, let's come film this. Come film me open my jacket and show you that I haven't stolen anything. I'll show you. If he undoes the jacket, shows that he hasn't stolen anything, we move on. He made it racial. This is what's not making any sense to me. I know y'all already talking that shit about, well, Wyatt, you always on their side. No, I'm on the side of people who are putting shit out like this and title it, black man gets accused by Myers and blah, 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 blah shit. That's not how this shit worked out. The brother made it racial. He said, oh, okay. Fame says, what y'all hollering about tonight? I sound mad. I'm too blessed to be mad. But they didn't already put this video out. See, this is what we do to manipulate the mind of everybody's against us. The truth of the matter is, the police, if this man is telling the truth about how he entered the store, he entered the store at the same time that they did. So they not even paying you any attention, bro. You're not even on their mind, on their radar. And how many other people may have gotten stopped before they stopped you? That's wearing a jacket that fits the description, because evidently it was the jacket. The cop told you, no, we're looking for somebody in like a dark tan jacket. He said, this ain't even tan, this is orange. Okay, just open the jacket. I mean, I ain't tripping. Why are you tripping? Don't you want to shop somewhere where they getting rid of the criminals? They getting rid of the people that's stealing? It's obviously not a racial situation, because at the end of the video, you clearly see who it was. It was a white dude wearing a gray jacket or a tannish type jacket. It was clearly that.
Intentional cars below for reckless
And they
driver.
often hauled and walked him off to jail.
We just take him
Here it is.
to the office.
There it is. And the brother cop got him. But this is the same brother cop that was standing there when the black guy was pulled over and asked, hey, sir, we've got a report from loss prevention. He said from LP that you may be stuffing some things in your jacket. Are we still at a point where when things happen in this world, the only reason why we're accused is because we black? How could you even say that when a black officer is part of the investigation? Are black officers doing us like that? Somebody help me. Help me understand. Do we even feel that way when we have black officers at the scene, that we're being discriminated against by our own? Is that really racial profiling? I don't know. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm asking a question. I'm just trying to get y'all engaged. This is a brother police officer who's at the
Yeah, I'm
scene.
taking over the office.
This is a brother. Mary Myers, good evening. She says he can say it. Who can say it? The brother? He can say that? Victoria Prince says black cops are racist too. I don't know about that. We might be judgmental. I don't know if they're so you know, it's funny how people who talk about racism. Now, follow me on this. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I will say this. It's funny how chaos agents, certain ones, will say black people can't be racist. It's impossible for a black man to be racist, right? They say that shit all the time. But a black cop can be racist. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How could black people not ever be racist, according to how chaos agents think, but yet a black cop could be racist? I'm not understanding. Are black cops not human beings? Are they not regular people? Johnny says black cops are blue. So that kind of answers that question that I asked. Are black cops regular people? No, they're not. They're blue. I get it. But is it always, did the young lady pull me over at the bank? Did the female police officer pull me over at the bank because I was black? Or did I fit a description of somebody that's been coming in there doing fraudulent shit with paperwork with checks? I'm just curious to know, because it's got to make sense for me to even have a discussion about it. All right, I have my personal feelings about things, but that don't mean I'm necessarily right. I don't go through what everybody go through. But I tell you one thing, I've seen enough in my many years of living and in many years of my profession. I've been around it a lot. I've been around it a lot. I've seen a lot of people get away, and I've seen a lot of people get caught, and I've seen a lot of people get accused of things they didn't do. And then I've seen people who was doing stuff not get detained, not get, nothing happens to them. So we're supposed to now live in a world where nobody could say anything to us. Hold on, let me read some of these comments. It'll give me some juice. It'll give me something to talk about. It'll get me going. Mary Meyer says, yes, the brother. Yes, the brother. If I was walking in the store with the police and they asked me to open my jacket, we got a call. I just walked in the store, but y'all think a black person did it. Okay, I think I understand. I know you're typing. You may be driving. I think I get it. She says, yes, the brother. If I was walking in the store with the police and they asked me to open my jacket, we got a call. I just walked in the store, but they all think, but y'all think a black person did it. But hold on. They wasn't necessarily looking at skin color, from what I heard the white officer say to the brother, and then the brother officer was standing there. It was his body cam that was taking viewing of the whole incident. They said that they got a call from loss prevention, and somebody with a brownish type jacket or a tannish or whatever type jacket was stuffing stuff in his pocket. I mean, in his jacket. They seen the wrong guy. How many aisles did these guys go through before they seen a brownish tan type jacket? They wasn't obviously paying attention to the brother, because if they walked in, he claims that he walked in 5 minutes before them, or 5 minutes or right at the same time in them. I don't understand that comment, but this is what he's saying. I walked in at the same time y'all walked in. How could I be the one that's stealing something? And here's the other thing. I didn't hear anybody get fly with him. Nobody said, shut your ass up, turn around and empty your pockets. Nobody got fly. The cop said, let's just try to figure this out. I just need to know if you have anything in your jacket. And he goes on to this rant. Oh, there's a black thing. See, what I'm trying to tell y'all is this. I've seen a lot of them same instances where nobody do anything. Like dicks. Nobody approached these folks. Nobody said anything. They just let the theft occur. And then when they walked out, somebody want to say, sir, sir, and they just keep on going with the alarms ringing and everything. And we supposed to fall back and only pay attention to the shit when somebody falsely gets accused. And y'all, everybody on here right now know a booster. Say you don't. Somebody type it on here. I dare you to be the one to type in here and say, I don't know nobody that steals shit and sell it. Everybody know a booster. I ain't saying it's you. I'm not saying you the one stealing shit. Everybody on here knows some shit. If they want to put an order in, they can order something. All Wyatt, stop. Not everybody. Not everybody. Come on, Victoria Prince. No, they don't. I'm about to get you your comment. She said, Victoria said, they have a distorted point of view about our race. So so what makes you feel better? To turn around and open? How often does that happen to that man? We talking about Westchester, Myers. You're talking about a pretty good area where there's a lot of black folks that have very good jobs, that are employed. And I'm not saying that it's beneath us or beneath folks out there to get stopped and searched or asked if they have something. You know, theft happens everywhere. I'm just asking a pure question of, did it call for all of that? When they ask, do you have anything in your jacket? Well, yeah. Yeah, I do. Hey, come on, film this. They doing this because I'm black. Come on over here. And you got a black cop right there. You know what's going to happen? We're going to get to the point where the police going to do what they do. They're going to just not deal with us. And they are the same ones that are always talking about, well, you know, they always doing that to us. They always doing that to us. Y'all gonna be the main ones trying to call 911 when somebody carjack your ass, when somebody come hit you upside the head and steal your wallet and your purse or some shit like that. And you're gonna be like, they don't even do shit to these people out here. And as I told you, most people that complain about things are only people where they're not effective. They're not effective. Once you get affected by some stuff, you're gonna see shit way different. You're gonna see things way different. Let me see. Victoria Prince says black cops are racist too. I read that one. There was one on here. Victoria Prince says they have a distorted point of view about our race. I read that one as well. Let me get to this one. Brenda Harris says the store owner should have had conversations with the cops to make sure they had the correct suspect. I blame the store. Here's what you're talking about. Myers. You're talking about Myers. You're talking about they have a loss prevention where the cops came into the store. This is how I'm pretty sure it worked. The cops came into the store, and when they came into the store, they went to the loss prevention, the office, and they got a description of what it is that they're looking for. They obviously didn't have it on video. They just took the loss prevention's word of a man wearing a dark color, tannish type color coat is stuffing things in his coat. That's what they had. That's what they had. So they leave the loss prevention office and walk out into the store, and they're going aisle to aisle, and they're probably trying to find someone that fits that big coat, tan coat type of situation. I don't know, man. But I'm just saying. Did the brother overreact when they act like when they came and questioned him? Johnny Robinson said it's a catch-22. Mary Myers says they came in with a thought that it was a black person. I think I'm going to lose some friends today. Damn. So everybody that's saying that type of shit is the same ones that would have probably been clocking out. Y'all would have went crazy if they would have stopped you. I've never feared anything when I was not in the wrong. That's me personally. I've never feared anything when I'm not in the wrong. If them cops would have stopped me, even if I had my children, it's a learning process. It's my time to teach my children how to act when things don't do right. That's a point. That's a time and place for me to teach. I had a nephew. I had a family member who did the same damn thing, showed up at the scene. And think that you can just act any old kind of way, even if the police are wrong. You still gotta be a certain kind of person to get your point across to people. You don't have to get hostile. You don't have to get to talking all that other shit. You don't have to do that. Then we wonder why situations escalate. He was a nice person. They ain't have to do him all like that. That was my daddy. Y'all didn't have to do that. I know I'm gonna lose a few today. Brenda Harris says loss prevention should have talked to the police when they arrived at the store to correctly identify the person who they thought had something in his jacket. I think they did that, but I think they still got it wrong, Brenda, to be honest with you. These are things that we have to learn that's going to happen sometimes. It's not always, you can't always have a cynical way of thinking. You can't always think that something is happening to you because somebody just don't think highly of you. You know, bad shit happen to good people. Sometimes bad things happen to great people. It's just like that sometimes. This is the one that I was talking about. Victoria Prince says, people watch me everywhere I shop because I'm black. No, they don't. No, they don't. I'm telling you right now, right here and right now, everybody, they not watching you. And now let me ask you something. Here's a controversial comeback to that. Quick question. Name one store. Victoria, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit if you don't mind, sweetie. Name one store off the top of your mind, off the top of your brain that you go to, and every time you go in there, they watch you because you're black. Just specifically for what you just said. Every store you go to, or which store, you ain't got to name a bunch of them. Just name one store that you always go to, that you always get watched, because this is your comment. People watch me everywhere I shop because I'm black. Name one store that do that. Just one. And meanwhile, I'm going to move on to a couple comments, but I want you to, Victoria, she says Tuesday morning. That's a store, right? That's where they sell home accessories and things of that nature. Tuesday morning. So people don't steal out of Tuesday morning? You don't think, let me ask you this. Do you think that black people steal anything from Tuesday morning? What's up, Rick Dees? Rick Dees says Saks Fifth Avenue. Rick Dees don't go to Saks Fifth Avenue. He go to Sex Fifth Avenue. I'm just playing. I have read it like that. I'm like, Sex Fifth Avenue? I read it wrong. My glasses, you know how. But yeah, Rick Dees says Saks Fifth Avenue. Black people don't steal out of Saks Fifth Avenue. I know white people do. I know white people steal out of Tuesday morning as well. But I want you to show me a store that you're talking about. Rick D's got a little kick out of that one. I want you to tell me a store that watches you all the time and white people don't steal out of it and black people don't steal out of it. And could it also be somewhat of a psychological thing that we feel a certain way every time we go in the store? Like I used to be like that. I'm not going to lie to you. I used to feel like eyes were all on me when I walked in the store. Not because I thought I was fly or no shit like that. I kind of had that little thing going on when I was a young man. And, you know, I've been brainwashed. When I was a young guy, I was brainwashed. I was led to believe certain things in this world were not meant for me. I was led to believe that I couldn't achieve certain things. I was told by people that look like me, that ain't for you. You can't live like that. You can't do them things. They ain't gonna never let you do that. You can't go in that bank and get no money. They ain't gonna never let you do this. Wait a minute. First of all, let's find out something. Who is they? That's all. I need to know who got their hands on the switch of they ain't gonna never let you have shit. Oh, Victoria Prince says, I'm tired of them. See? She says, I'm tired of them trying to catch me stealing. Tracy Dillingham said Nordstrom's. So Victoria, so Prince, are you saying that you be hitting up them stores and you tired of them just watching you so you can get your jump off on? Is that what it is? Are you really helping me this evening? Are you really being that honest one? Or did I read you wrong? Because I'm just saying, y'all act like niggas don't go in these stores and be killing their ass. Y'all ain't named one store yet that I can't get some shit from a booster from. You ain't named one yet. I can get some shit from Dillard's. I can get some shit from Saks Fifth Avenue. I can get some shit from Tuesday Morning. I can get some shit from there if I want to. All I got to do is make a call or two. Hey, bro, they got this motherfucking table up at Tuesday Morning. It's sitting right in back by the old card stuff. It's a big coffee table. What's the ticket on it? What's the ticket on it? 400? Oh, shit, you know I get it for you, couple hundred. Bet. So I'm the only one that can make a call? Everybody got a cousin that knows somebody. Let's just put it on the cousin. Victoria Prince, I'm playing. She says, they straighten up shit that's already straight near me. Me throughout the store. They be seeing your ass coming, Victoria. They know. She got us last week. She ain't gonna get us this week. Hey, I don't know if it's me, but it sounds like we got one in the building. If you want some shit, you might be able to put a list together. I'm playing, Victoria. I'm just playing, sis. I'm just messing with you. All right, it's a serious one because Mary Myers, she's such a doll, baby. Mary Myers says, let me see, where you go? My bad, let me get for real now. She said, my dad was a millionaire. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me get past that. Now, I'll get back to it, but I don't like how that started out. I'm going to tell you why. My dad was a millionaire and has been stopped and frisked in his life. He lived to be 88. My sons have been stopped unlawfully. Yeah, it happens. It happens. It happens. And here's the problem. This is like anything else. We always feel like it's only us. Wait, let me ask. Do white people not get stopped in stores? Oh, I know, Wyatt, you be on some bullshit. No, I'm not being on some bullshit. This is how I know that white people get arrested, if not more, if not just as much, definitely more. I'm in the legal system, and it's a docket full of them on the docket. They didn't just walk up to the store detectives on theft charges from Home Depot and all these other places. They didn't just walk up and say, hey, y'all didn't really catch me stealing this shit, but I'm feeling good today and I'm going to turn myself in. It took a store detective in the police department to come get their ass, so now they're on the morning docket in Hamilton County. What happened? They obviously were being seen doing some shit. See, I got to make this make sense. Y'all act like ain't no white people on the dockets in the morning. Court dockets. Yeah, they are. A lot of them. For doing the same shit that you say they only did that to me because I'm black. So I know what I'm saying might not be popular. And that might not be the best thing in the world to be saying. Coming from a brother, that might not make any sense to you. But y'all got to understand, it's just this certain thing that I got to get my people to understand. And it's this, it's always me mentality. We got to get away from that shit. Because we all know somebody that's out here doing some dumb shit. And they're not making it good for the good guys out here. Give you a perfect example. Who remember over the summer when Fast Pitch was on live on her show? I wish she was here right now. She would help me make this point. She was getting ready, prepping for one of her shows in Bond Hill in Cincinnati. And she hears gunshots. And she go to the window and you all over here, you hear screaming and hollering and all this old crazy shit, right? And she was in an area where there was a barbershop downstairs. Meanwhile, there's a brother on his birthday getting a haircut in the barbershop. He's sitting in the barber chair and two brothers run in there and shoot him in his head. Kill him in broad daylight. killed him in broad daylight, shot him in the head on his birthday. So Fast Pictures on her phone, she got 10,000 people watching all at one time. Police come all around, they doing taping off everything. It's a brutal situation. And then they put this APB out, which means all point bulletin, which they put a description of the individual who was out on the run from shooting that brother in the head. Now, what do you think that description looked like? How many people do you think they could have pulled over that day that fit the description of what they was looking for who shot that brother in the head? How many? You know, that ain't even the crazy thing about the story. The crazy thing about the story is when they put the description out, this is what it said. It was a mid 30-year-old light-skinned black man wearing a white t-shirt with blue jeans on. And the day that they put that out there, it's so funny. I know I might not look like I'm in my mid-30s. I mean, I probably look a little younger than that. But everything else, I fit that same description. I fit that same description of who they were looking for. Light-skinned brother wearing I had a white t-shirt on and some jeans that day. And it was so funny because I did a show a little bit after that. I did a show and I'm like, damn, I fit that fucking description. Can I really get mad if somebody if the police? I'm mad at the nigga that shot him in the head. Because now it's somebody running around here and I'm looking like them. So if something happens to me because I fit the description, I'm armed and dangerous. According to the APB, I'm armed and dangerous. I just shot a brother in the head. I just shot a dude in the head. According to what they saying. Oh my God, this is crazy. Brenda Early says, I remember that fast pitch. Do you remember that, Brenda? Do you remember when they were like, do you remember when they put the description of the guy who shot the man in the head? And I'm like, God damn, I got on that shit right now. I did a show like 2 hours later or an hour later, and then it was on the news that they had video of the dude who actually did it. And I'm like, light-skinned brother, 35 years old, with a white t-shirt on and jeans? That's me. If I'm walking down the street right now, if I'm walking in Kroger's or something right now, I fit that description. Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me see what you're talking about. Let me see before I get on that one. Victoria, I'm gonna say this because I didn't see this comment that you made. You said I don't run in those circles anymore. It's cool, but you know what I'm talking about. I bet you, even if most of the people on here don't agree with me, I bet you dig what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. How many times did that circle get away with doing what they did? And then it's some of that circle. Let's be honest, sis. There's some people in that circle can't even go in Victoria's Secret no more. Can't even go in malls no more. Oh, y'all made it real slick and sweet for everybody that go in there now. New faces. Victoria's Secret they probably think they probably think more panties stole out of there than sold. Hey, come on now. Y'all know there was a time where ladies was buying shit and they still had the damn door tags on the back. The ding, 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 ding tags on the back of their ass, or the hole was in there from the tag being on. Y'all ain't never bought no shit out the register. You got the door tags on the back of the damn thing. The ring. It's a sad day when you got to put a ringer on some panties. It's a sad day. It's a sad day when you got to put a door ringer, big ass door ringer, big ass door ringer like this on a pair of panties. That's crazy. That's crazy. And you know how it was going, Victoria. Johnny said, I retired from that a long time ago. Did you really, Johnny? Look, I'm not Mr. Goodbar. Johnny can probably co-sign to that. I had my moments. But it takes somebody that's been there to understand where we're coming from. I ain't going to sit here and say that a certain element don't make it bad for all of us. Stop blaming the person that's looking at you a certain way when they didn't had to deal with people like me in the past, like Victoria in the past. Stop trying to act like they don't have no reason sometimes to act the way they act towards certain people. Stop acting like that. That's dumb shit to me. That's dumb shit to me. Oh, they because we black all that old one. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Get out of here with that. That's the go-to thing. Let me see something. Let me see one. Victoria says, whenever they do that, I put their asses to work. I make them help me while the white people are stealing. Now, Victoria, this is crazy. My grandmother put 32 years as a sales associate for McAlvin's downtown on Plum Street. She was there for 32. She was there as long as I was alive. She was there the day that I was born. She probably was at work, okay? But she was there for 32 years and retired. And I used to go visit her sometime. And after so many times, store security and all that, they all knew me, right? They all knew me. Brenda Harris, did you look 35? I did. But anyway, I used to visit my grandmother all the time at the store. Occasionally go in. And I remember one time I told her, this man is following me. And she said, oh, he knew. He think he probably just trying to, you're new. He's new. And I said, why is he following me, Granny? I was a little dude. She said, well, he's a store detective. He actually works here. Because I was a little spooked. It was a, tall white man. And I'm like, fuck he following me for? I didn't know. I was a young guy. I was probably about 10, a little younger than 10. And I'm asking her, why is he, following me, Granny? She said, that's the store detective. He's new. He don't know you. Hey, she waved at him and all that. And then she gave me a little walkthrough one day. We went and got something to eat that day. And as we were walking, she was schooling me on some shit. She was like, Rand, you're going to have to learn that sometimes when you go in stores, they're going to look at you and not look at other people. Now, this is the realest shit in the world. She says, they're going to look at you as being some kid that's stealing because you don't look like you're supposed to be up in the bridal department. My grandmother worked at the bridal department at that time. She said, they're going to look at you. And we get a lot of people that steal stuff. People that look like you, people that look like them. She said, but I'm going to tell you a true story. And this is a true story. My grandmother told me. She said, I've seen them follow the black guys in the store. And I would watch the white guys putting shit in the bags, stealing. And I wouldn't even say nothing. That's what she told me. Now, I didn't understand it back then. I don't understand why. And this is my grandmother, who I love to death, who I would never say anything bad about. Obviously, she was there for me in life. But I never understood that philosophy of, I'm going to let y'all circle the wagon around all those black guys over there who ain't stealing shit. Meanwhile, I'm going to watch the white guys steal shit and I ain't going to say nothing. See, in the world that I live in my mind, I'm just the opposite. I'm going to make sure that okay, y'all keep following the black guys, but I'm going to call one over. Tom, come here. You see how y'all following all them guys? Look over there. Them the ones that's putting all the polo shirts in the shopping bag. I got to bring it to their attention. See, I'm the one that'll carry a receipt like that. Having an internal receipt does me no good. I want to bring to their attention like, hey, y'all over there with them guys who ain't stealing nothing, and you're not focused on the real thief over there. Now, I know for a fact shit like that happens. But see, I got to correct it. I'm not going to make it right. I'm not going to correct it because they can choose to listen to me if they want to. Just like here on Wyatt-Live, y'all be thinking I be on some hater shit. Y'all think that what I say is backing up, keeping us down, when in fact, I'm an empowered brother, and I love to shed the wisdom, and I love to put us in a better situation. But sometimes you got to go through reality in order to make shit real happen for you. You can't find no reality in some fake fraud ass disposition in a world that's just not even really, that's made for you to stay under and think the worst of. Trust and believe. If I would have, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. If I would have listened to the people coming up, if I would have listened to them tell me what I could and what I couldn't do, I wouldn't be shit today. I wouldn't be shit today because for many years, I trusted and believed in people that looked like me. I would call them Unc. All that old shit. And then I would find out where they're missing shit. Like, bro, you've been brainwashed. You've been led to believe that you're not capable of doing something that other people are doing. And I'm listening to you? The fuck wrong with me? I've been in that position. It's a hard position to be in. Because you're dealing with people that you love. You're dealing with people that you love, respect, and sometimes honor. I done said this before. Jay-Z said it to his uncle. His Jay-Z uncle told him years and years ago, bro, you ain't gonna never sell no million records. Jay-Z had to tell him, no, maybe you can't sell a million records, but I can. You know how many OGs come from the land where I come from that would tell me, man, you better get this money. You ain't fuck all that. You better get this money. You the type little dude where when you get some money, you gonna know what to do with it. Well, they were right about that, but they was wrong on how they was trying to get me to get to the money. Man, listen. All I'm telling you is this. The path to success or the path of whatever you want, sometimes you got to take that route and that road by yourself. You got to focus your mind away from all the shit that's been taught to you. You got to focus away from all the blurred areas, the things that you think are against you, all that shit. You got to throw all that shit out the window and you got to start from scratch. And you got to have an optimistic way of thinking. Sorry. I know, see, this is what I was telling Mr. Lynch today. And it got through. I'm shocked that Damon Lynch was even on our show this morning. I'm shocked. And the reason why is because I'm not on their radar. But you know what's funny is, as smart as he is, as smart as Ivis Roley's are, as smart as she is, as smart as those people are, they still missed something this morning. Not missed something this morning, but they missed something that I was able to inform them on this morning. And that shows you, like, look, Damon Lynch said the same thing that I said to you guys a long time ago. And I said, sometimes you just got to be present just to watch and listen. You don't always have to be there to make moves and do things. Sometimes you just got to learn how to walk in a room and just be quiet. Just learn. Everybody's talking about what 3CDC is doing. And I'm telling you that 3CDC is not doing anything different than anybody else in other major cities. They're just executing the plan. So what did Damon Lynch say? Oh, you know, we have a meeting with them. That's long overdue. You should have been had a meeting with them and stop listening to these people talk about what they getting and we not getting. You should have been on that damn, you should have been on them a long time ago. You should have been on them learning from their blueprint a long time ago. Who was on this morning and heard that conversation? Very informative. And then when I told Mr. Lynch, I said, hey, what's up with this minority developer? He was like, huh? Now I know. He didn't even know. And that's not a knock on him. It's because he probably been led to believe. He probably thinks that they're bringing in a minority developer from New York, like what it said on the news. But I'm not sure that he even knew that, because when I put the pictures and stuff up of those guys, he wasn't really aware of it. But yet he's a minority developer in the city of Cincinnati. And everything he discussed on how they're moving right now, everything that he was discussing is what I said last week. Remember, I said, look, why not start small with one building, start with a strip mall, start with this, put the bank. He used the bank. But y'all know, if you listen to me, everything he described this morning, I told you a few days ago, that's how you start. You start somewhere. And he did not disagree with a word that I said, because he knew that shit that I was saying was the realest in the world, because he's out here doing it. He knew what I was saying was some real shit. I'm not on the radar though. I'm not the guy that, you know, I've listen, that don't hurt my feelings. There's a reason why I'm under the radar. I chose to be under the radar. I could go knock on everybody's door. I could advertise and do things and put myself out there to be somebody that's going to talk up and when things happen. No, I chose to do it this way. I chose to get to a point where I'm ready to retire. I'm choosing to be under the radar now because now it's time for me to say something. I mean, I chose to be under the radar all that time. Now I feel comfortable in my life. to be able to say whatever I want to say. I feel comfortable in it. What's that, Victoria? She says money and happiness comes to those who want it really bad. I'm going to say something about that. I'm going to say something. Description fits you till they got the age part. Did you look 35? Forget you. Forget you, Brenda. Forget you. I owe you. I could pass for 35 when I put my Jordans on walking the streets. Let me get a fade. Let me get a haircut. I could pass for 35. Let me get this limp right. I don't want to limp when I walk. I could pass. Let me address this a little bit right here. Let me see here. Victoria Prince says money and happiness comes to those who want it really bad. Well, first of all, let me say this. I agree to a certain extent. I don't like when people put money and happiness in the same sentence. It's two different things. They come from two different lands. They two different pieces of work. Money don't make you happy. Your decisions in life make you happy. Money can make you comfortable if you use it right. Oh, we got jokes, Angela. We got jokes. Angela said they said 35, not 40. See, you know what happens when you get a family? I bet y'all don't talk this dirty and grimy to the people that you don't know. You always want to do this to a family member. Y'all always trying to make a family member feel bad. That's how we're going to do each other. Oh, yes, I'm 40. So who said something? But I can pass for 35 if I really wanted to. Didn't y'all see me sitting on the beach? Did y'all see the picture? If I'd have just cleaned my face off, take all this stuff off my face, and I'm sitting there, get me a fade and get my shit together, I could be 35 all over again. If you laughing, I'm going to disconnect you. I'm definitely going to block you. All right, so look. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, Damon Lynch, she said, let me see, who said that? Oh, Jenny said, was Damon Lynch live this morning? Yeah, he was on the show this morning. He called in. He was not a guest, but he called in. And he was mentioning and talking about some of the development projects that they have been working on with the group. So yes, he did mention that, you know. Sabrina Calloway is laughing. I hope you laughing at the fact. You ain't laughing at me when I say that I can be 35, are you? Because I can. What was that? Something else that it was on. You know, it's tough doing this twice. It's tough doing this twice a day. Victoria Prince says he's a good man. Thank you. I know you're not talking about me. You're talking about Damon Lynch. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend like that compliment is for me. I'm gonna pretend that it's for me. Brenda Harris says, you're right. If you shave, yeah, 35 for sure, Wyatt. Thank you. Thank you, Brenda. I'm feeling a little better about myself now. Okay, Sabrina says no. All right, so I kind of shot my whole wad. You are too. Okay. I shot my whole wad this morning. I went 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Oh, I know. Sabrina says, see, y'all, ooh, boy, some people trying to make up to me. Y'all trying to make up to me now. Sabrina says, truthfully, you look younger than 35, than most 35-year-olds nowadays. I know. All that weed, all them 40s, all that smoking and shit done caught up with their ass, didn't it? All that shit done caught up with their ass. Them cool dudes, freaking the miles. Remember they used to do that shit back in the day? Uh-huh. Remember all that freaking the miles shit and what we doing tonight? Oh, we going skating. All right. You don't want to hit this wide? Nah, man, I'm cool. Oh, you bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga. I always had pressures as a kid, as a young man. Let me tell you one of them. What's up, Tiffany? She laughed. I had pressures as a young man. This is what was going through my neighborhood when I was growing up down the way. I was 15 years old. No, I was what? When I came back, I escalated. I was 18 years old. Yeah, that hen dog. Sabrina says that Hennessy. Yeah, that hen dog will age your ass. It'll put 10 years on you, on the inside and the outside. Yes, it will. Yeah, yes, it will. Keep it up. Keep it up. You be sipping that shit. You be sipping your life down 10 years at a time. But when I got back to Cincinnati, I was about 19 years old. And this pressure thing, I've said this before on the show. It wasn't necessarily pressure, but it was one of them outcast type of situations where I was 19 years old, just deciding, if I'm going to go back to school or what I'm going to do. And I come back to my neighborhood and my partners are still there. Most of them are still there. Most of them are even in a spot where now they got their own apartments in the same neighborhood we grew up in. Who do that? Who do that? Who buy neighborhood? Who get property, or who go right back? Who get out of the neighborhood and move into the neighborhood? Your first apartment is in the same neighborhood that you grew up in. Who do that? Well, let me just say, when I came back to Cincinnati, 19 years old, there was a little bit of what we call today shaming, because I was 19 years old and I didn't have any kids. But I had some partners that had already had 1 or 2 kids already. And do you know them dudes looked at me like something was wrong with me? Like, what you mean you ain't got no kid? You all right? You can't have kids, right? I'm like, yeah. But it's not something like, kids can hold me back from being what I want to be in life. Now, this is not throwing stones at you ladies who may have had kids at a young age. I'm telling you how some of the pressures that some of these men may have been under. And yeah, I know y'all gonna think I'm making up an excuse, but this is a conversation that's dear and near to my heart. Sometimes these young dudes are out here pressured to be a man. And they think being a man is being with a whole bunch of women. And they also think being a man is impregnating a woman. And then little dudes go back and brag about the sexual encounters that they have as young men with women. And then when you have a baby with a girl, like I told you in high school, I went to Withrow. I was in Withrow in the 10th grade. I had a girl in high school, in my high school, in my history class, Mr. Brown's class. I had a girl on my right and a girl on my left, and both of them were pregnant. Like big pregnant, like big stomach pregnant. And I'm like, damn. I didn't understand it. I just didn't understand it. And then I come home after some years. I come home and I'm 19 years old and my friends have kids. Some of them have kids that we not Rick D's. Wait a minute, hold on. What you talking about? Rick D said, Wyatt, cool. Wyatt, cool. I did not know we were so close in age. We not. Where you get that from? I'll just play Rick D's. That's my dude. That's my poker dude. Me and him cool. But anyway, I'm 19 years old and some of my buddies didn't have kids since they was 15 and 16 years old. And I'm like, whoa. Here, you got a 4-year-old. No, I don't have kids yet. And you gonna make me feel like something wrong with me because I'm 19 and don't have a 3-year-old or a 14-year-old or a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old? What's wrong with me? Wow. And see, what I'm saying to you is these young ladies, the young ladies back then, they were probably dealing with the same thing by being pressured by these young men that was trying to, I don't know, I don't want to say have babies by them, but being able to be some conversation piece. Yeah, me and Felicia, yeah, hell yeah, that's my girl, yeah, I'm hitting that. All that old goofy shit that young men talk. I remember them days as if they were yesterday. But these pressures are running rapid through our communities, and that's just Young men feel like they have to be sexually active with young girls, and that validates their manhood. And then here we go, not being properly prepared for stuff like that and having accidents. And then we have a cycle of young kids, babies having babies. Yeah, man, that's how that shit gets started. I don't think anybody is in line to have a mistake on purpose. Now, there were some girls back in the day that would try to have babies on purpose. They didn't care by who. I hate to say it, but yeah. And there were some guys that wanted to have babies by who they didn't care who. You always gonna have that. But I just found it to be awfully weird that some of the things that we pressure our kids into, like the kids themselves pressure one another into, I find it to be odd, strange. It's weird sometimes. And it took me to get older to actually see it. And then I had my own story to pretty much look at and glide with and be like, yeah, I remember I was 19 and they was looking at me like I was nuts. Like I was nuts for not having no kids yet. I can't even take care of me at 19. How am I gonna take care of a baby? Oh, y'all got something in place to take care of the baby. So what's the harm? No harm, no foul, right? We got a system in place where if we have kids, yeah, somebody will take care of them. We ain't got to worry about the shit. And like Sabrina just said, she just said this. She said some of them still paying off that child support, complaining that their child is almost 40 and they still owe. See, it's not how much they paying to the kid right now. It's how much they owed from back then. Right? I mean, is that right, Sabrina? I mean, like, you might not have to pay for a kid after they turn 18, but if you only paid for a kid up until he was 4 years old, well, shit, you still got 14 years in the rear. Get at it. It's amazing how you create your own problem and then call it a system problem. And then we don't even have people in our area who are brave enough to say what I'm saying and hold people accountable. We call obvious problems in our community gun crisis. It's not a gun crisis. It's a mentality crisis. A gun crisis is when the guns start taking over. And we got to duck from the guns because the guns is tired of dealing with our shit. But I don't never see that day coming. I see a lot of mentalities. I see a lot of people with guns who have no business with guns. But they have a mentality to use a gun. Listen, everybody with a gun is not a criminal, is not a robber. Okay, not a criminal that's using a gun to go rob a store. There are a lot of criminals, whether they're thieves or drug dealers or whatever they do, that only use guns for protection. And in that way of living, they need that gun for protection. That's not a gun crisis. That's a crisis of living in a foul world. And now you got to use a gun for protection. That's not gun crisis. When are we going to be real? When your chief of police and when they had that press conference the other day from City Hall, when y'all going to be honest enough? Now, I know I always say some shit that's different. I know I do. And I know I always sound like I'm against everything. I'm just a realist. When are you going to stop calling shit a gun crisis and be honest and say what it really is? It's not a gun crisis. I got a daughter right now that if I gave her a gun, she wouldn't even take it. She wouldn't know what to do with it. I got a daughter that if I gave her some dope, she wouldn't even know what to do with it. I ain't selling that, daddy. I ain't got nobody to sell that to. I ain't gonna take that gun, daddy. I don't live in no life where I gotta have a gun. I don't want to be part of that lifestyle. That ain't that's a mentality. Guns are used in criminal activity, not necessarily robbing and stealing. You can do that without a gun. That crime is high too. You don't talk about that. Guns are used out here for guys that are living a certain type of life. It's usually, it's never somebody out here just going into a store and robbing the store and shooting the store up and then running out with $200. Most of the gun violence that you see in the United States of America right now is usually some type of confrontation. That's not a gun crisis. That's a whatever led to the gun usage crisis. Drug crisis. When I tell y'all about the dope in the cities and all that old shit, do you really think that the only reason why homicides are up in inner cities throughout this country, and especially in the 16 cities that have been highlighted in the United States, you really think the only reason why homicides are up is because the gun crisis, the accessibility to guns? You really think that? It sounds good. It sounds believable. It's not. I'm going to tell you right now, if you see a dope house and there's some drug dealers in there, they don't have guns, and these other drug dealers that got beef with them don't have guns, guess what they're going to do to that house to make their point? They're going to blow that fucking house up. They're going to throw fire in it. So now, if it's not a gun crisis that killed those guys in there because they didn't use guns, what crisis is it really? The crisis is the activity that's going on. That's the crisis. Y'all want to blame the guns because a lot of people won't even say what it is. And it comes and it stems from the activities that's allowed to be done in the home. And that is this. This is why your chief of police and none of those council members on the TV the other day, just a couple days in Cincinnati, a couple of that you had a press conference of the new council, and they all called it a mental health illness crisis and a gun crisis in the city of Cincinnati. Keep on going. They ain't saying nothing no different than the last administration. So how is things going to change if they got the same mindset? They're not even willing to say the same thing. You had the mayor come on and talk about where's that shit that we had? Somebody sent it in the group chat today. Yeah. Angela Kinney says somebody posted that in the group chat today. I got a lot of energy off of that, Angela. Somebody sent that. Let me tell you what it was. It was our mayor on Good Morning America. They asked him a question about, there's a lot of cities around and Cincinnati going to the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. That's how we got the attention. They asked him a basic question. What are you going to do about the violence in your city? Violent crime is up in your city. What are you going to do about it? And he blamed it on the gun crisis. This mayor is not going to do anything different than the last mayor because the focus is wrong. You're blaming guns for what people do. You got to get those people right. You got to change their mentalities to get out of the lifestyle that they in. That's the first step. And he says there's no jobs for the people, for the parents of the kids that's using guns. He blames guns on poverty. He says the reason why people are out here using guns is because they're of poverty. Do you agree with that? Do you agree that the reason why kids are out here using guns amongst each other is because of poverty? Because I can tell you right now, there's a whole lot of kids that sell dope that don't have to sell dope. Selling drugs is not a poor man's game. I'm sorry. You got it fucked up. Y'all don't understand the dope game. The dope game has nothing to do with two little brothers sleeping on a mattress in a house. That ain't all who in the dope game. Okay, Jenny, then what is it? She says, I totally disagree. We ain't gonna never get mad. I can't get mad at you for disagreeing. But I'm telling you what I know, and I know that everybody that's in the dope game who carry guns and shit like that, they ain't all poor. And when I say poor, I mean they're not wealthy, they're not rich, but they have options. They had choices. They could have went off to high school. They could have played football. They could have did a whole lot of other shit that they were great at, but they chose the game because it was prestigious, and it was getting to the bag, and all the girls like all the bad boys. It's a mentality. It's a lifestyle. You can't be you ain't gonna never be a successful dope dealer in no city if you don't carry a gun. Oh, there you go, sweetie. Because I know you smart. You was gonna be hard when Jenny, you was gonna be definitely hard for me to try to convince. I was gonna have to tackle you like a Bengal tiger. We was gonna have to wrestle. So she says, I totally disagree with AFTAB. AFTAB is out of touch. No, he ain't. Because he's the first. Remember? Y'all, you know I'm being sarcastic. Remember the heading on it? I should have brought the video. Remember the heading? On Good Morning America, it said, first Asian American mayor of Cincinnati. And he gets on the TV and talk about the disparities in economics of the black community. But you just said to us in your welcome speech when you accepted the mayor's position, you just told us, look, I'm proof. You can be anything you want to be in Cincinnati. I'm an Asian American and I'm the mayor. Oh, okay. So now, in order to be you, what do we have to do different? Get rid of the gun crisis. See that fucked up that don't even equal. That don't even add up right. What made you, Mr. Mayor? What made you who you are? What put you in the position you are today? Let's be real. No. You had options in life. You had options in life. And see, here you go, Jenny. See, I'm glad you're saying it and I don't have to. When you say AFTAB is just playing games, then what does that tell you? If you got to get up there and start playing games and tap dance and say the things that they want you to say, then what is that telling you? Business as usual. When you can't get up there and say the real shit like, hey, look, we got to get in these parents' homes. We got to figure out why these parents why these kids are out of touch. Why do they want to go to the fast life instead of going to the universities? You know, why do they rather go to the streets than go to junior high? What's the problem? And then when you go back and say, oh, it's because they're poor. But wait a minute. You're an Asian American who made it to, were you rich growing up? Or were your parents in your life to guide you in a certain direction, Mr. Mayor? See, this is not a shot at him, but this is a shot for those that don't want to say the real shit. Victoria Prince says the black and underdogs helped him in office. Of course they did. Here's the thing. Y'all got to understand only 24.9%. So 25%, I'm going to give them the edge. 25%, only 25% of Cincinnati, of Hamilton County came out to vote for that shit anyway. You know why? I'm learning something. I'm starting to watch ads on politics. And if you notice, what I'm seeing ads coming from different positions, more of Congress type spots, state representatives and stuff like that. They're focusing their dollars on that position, on the state level, not the city. Have you noticed that? You ever noticed these ads are coming out now and it's usually people that's running for state positions? They don't give a shit about no city council. They want bigger positions to make bigger decisions, have a bigger territory to consider to run, to put their policies into. That's why they running for bigger space. It's obvious that Republicans didn't give a shit about your city council run. They didn't give a shit about that. It's obvious to me. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong because I don't do politics. But if I was a betting man, I would say they didn't give a shit. And the reason why I say they didn't give a shit is because they made it real simple and easy. And they didn't really put up any opposition for anybody to win on their side. So they just didn't care. They didn't come out to vote. They didn't care. They didn't give a shit. So what does that tell you? How important is it? But now, when you watch them spend their money now, they running for those bigger positions at the state level. Uh-oh. Now I'm starting to get an idea of what this politic thing is about. When you start seeing the emphasis on certain areas, that's what's more important. I get it. And then when I look back and I see, you know, mayors and stuff not making any different decisions by calling out the right people, playing the get along gang and saying the same shit all these other mayors are saying across the United States of America who don't give a shit about the brothers and sisters that are dying in the inner city. They don't care. Listen, it's hard for me to say they don't care. I don't mean they don't care, but I don't really think that it's a true priority to get it to stop. And that sounds ridiculous and it sounds horrible, but there are mechanisms that make this thing turn. There are things that are very obvious to me. You can't just walk to somebody's home and go in there on a wellness check and say, hey, we just making sure your kid is being taken care of properly. No, you can't do that. But what you can do is watch the ones that you see are headed in the wrong directions through the school system and focus on them first. Because when they're making problems at school, that means they have something going on at home. And it puzzles me. And how I'm making my point when I say it puzzles me that they don't call out parents because it's unpolitical. It's just not, it's not what politicians do because they need parents for votes, right? So it puzzles me when I don't hear your mayors, your mayors, your city police chiefs, when I don't hear them call out the real people, the accountable people. I thought we was on to something when I seen the parents up in Michigan get charged when their son went in there and shot up the school. I thought we was on the right track. I know my conversation was always there. But now I want to prove this even more. Look at Chicago, look at St. Louis, and look at Washington, D.C. Black mayors, black police chiefs, and now those black police chiefs are coming out and saying what I always said. Now the police chiefs are coming out and saying, we got to start holding these parents up. This is a community effort. See, they start out smooth. This is a community effort of getting this crime and stuff to stop. These are the black police chiefs starting to come out in these cities now to talk. They getting away from the politics of it because now it's their jobs on the line. And the only reason why it's starting to reach out, the only reason why it's reaching out is because in DC, the shit is going out to the suburbs a little bit. It's getting the white people that are sitting outside trying to have a nice dinner in the city, like we have Over the Rhine and OTR and all that. Those folks, that transformation is going on in every metropolitan city. People are moving into those areas and the criminal element ain't fully out yet. So now they're starting to get touched by some of that gunplay. And now these black police chiefs are now stepping up and saying, this has to be a community-led effort. Community-led effort. And we need everybody to be part of it. And we got to start having parents come up front and they got to let us know what their children are doing. And if they need help, see, now all of a sudden after you done led the country in murders and you done led, you topping homicides off year after year, now you got to start saying something different. But it's no different than what I've been saying. You just can't, you got to take the politics out of it because you didn't use the gun crisis shit up. You didn't use it up. And when I turn around and hear this particular mayor say the same shit that these guys have been saying for years, I don't see any difference coming out of that. And I knew it wasn't going to happen, and I even prepped for it. I told you guys before the mayor won and all these new council people came in, I said, listen, I'm going to be fair. Don't blame them when shit don't change in your city with crime. It's not their fault. And I said the same thing when the other administration was in, except when I said it when they were in, I was a coon. I didn't know no better. I'm taking up for the white dudes and this and that. And, oh, you must be Republican. You're a Trump supporter, all that old shit. Because they didn't do anything and they didn't act any differently than any other of the councils. How was there going to be some change? It's not their fault what's going on in the streets when they were passed the torch that. And I'm going to say the same thing about this administration. But don't start making up excuses for this administration for not doing the same shit that the last one didn't do. You making up excuses for them already. Oh, they just started. You can't put that murder on them. I know they had that press conference today. You can't put that murder of that 16-year-old on them. They ain't even in their offices yet. All I can tell you is nobody said anything about that little young boy being shot in the head the day of the press conference. No one said a word. What policies are they going to implement in the city of Cincinnati for criminals when you have the government come into the city of Cincinnati last summer and drop $1.3 million to the criminal division for gun violence, add extra charges, drop all that money there, and give manpower, and your city's violence homicides went over. Do you really think the criminals are listening? We talked about that earlier. Do you really think they listening? You know the reason why there's no homicides and shit right now is because there's a bunch of snow up in Cincinnati. Nobody coming outside. This is a day off for the criminals. They can't even go steal no shit at Home Depot today. It's a day off. The only thing you're going to have a bunch of this week is probably domestic violence. And Lord, help us. Please don't make it violent to the point where it's you know what I'm saying. I don't want anybody to lose their life. I'm not wishing it. I'm knocking on wood. I'm not wishing it. But generally, to be honest with you, what happens on closed-in situations like the pandemic, people staying in the house, there's a lot of domestic violence that goes on. You'll have that. But what do you think? Here, I heard, and what I heard the mayor say on Good Morning America, somebody put that clip in there, is the reason why we have a lot of crime going on across the country is because of poverty. Okay, let's say that that's true, because it is somewhat true. What's the key to get out of poverty? You know what he said? We got to get black people. He specifically said black people. That make you see? I can't roll with people that say shit that's one-sided. That the reason why crime. So in other words, you saying, sir, that the only people committing crimes in this country are poor black people. Oh, am I reaching? Am I reaching? Because you went from poverty to black people not owning homes and property, and we this ain't got that, and we ain't got that, and we don't do this, and blah, blah, blah. That's the reason why gun violence is up, is because black people are being oppressed by the United States of America. That's what you pretty much just said to me, sir. What about the white people that are committing crimes in the city of Cincinnati? What about the white people that are committing crimes throughout America? So you put it all on us. See, I don't want to make it sound like I'm riding tough. I just dictate. I see bullshit. My bullshit meter is swinging hard. It's swinging hard. And I'm going to talk my shit, and I don't care if it's 2 people on here. Sometimes I talk my shit for me. I talk so I can feel better. And damn it, one day somebody going to be able to wheel my content back, and y'all say, you know what? Wyatt was totally against the grain. He was totally against the get along gang. He didn't ride with that bullshit. Man, we're going to miss that talk. And you'll have all this content to go back to one day and say, he was absolutely right about these dudes. This dude ain't going to do nothing either. They just say what they got to say to move on and get the next thing done for themselves. I listened to the police chief of Washington, D.C. finally have to say it. Finally have to say it. Dee said, can I call in? Sure, Dee, let me give you the number, man. Or I'm not sure if you're a girl, guy. Dee could be both. I got a cousin named Dee. Let me put the number up, Dee. Hold on one second. Area code 513-310-0546. Feel free to call in, Dee. I'll answer now. I'm about to wrap up, so we're not gonna make it real long, but I'm just saying what I'm saying. Let me see about some people who said some stuff real fast. Dee said black people don't understand politics. He said Stick was killed by an adult. I understand. Victoria Prince says, I remember when you said that because I remember saying we needed to wait and see. Okay. Victoria Prince said, nobody's snitching. There's nobody being charged due to fear of retaliation. Okay. Angela Kinney says, no one wants to work. It's hella jobs. Yes, it is. But you know what people say now? You know what they saying, Angela, when we say stuff like that? Because that's rubbish. People don't believe that shit. You know what they say these days? They say, don't nobody want them bullshit jobs. Don't nobody want to work at McDonald's. Don't nobody want these bullshit ass jobs and get that little bit of money. Don't nobody want that. Don't nobody. All right. So when did you get a master's degree and consider yourself overqualified to flip fries? Is that the problem? Have you upped the value of yourself to make you feel like you not worth a McDonald's job? Because damn it, if I had to take a McDonald's job to feed my family, I would certainly do it. Let me take this phone call. It must be Dee Dee. Hey, good evening. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
You speaking with Marquetta?
Hey, Marquetta, how you doing? You're not Dee Dee, are you?
Well, I am.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I really didn't. I see you're on I see that you're on YouTube. I didn't know you were Dee Dee.
Yeah, can't people try to dox me because I have that divergent point of view.
You know I'm all open for it. I'm open for it.
So I'm hearing you. First of all, who they?
Who they, girl? Who they?
Yes, Cincinnati has been invigorated with some life with a winning team, and it feels like, again, when you got good leadership from the top down, you can feel it.
Yes.
And so I appreciate the positivity that we're feeling in the city, and hopefully that'll curb a little bit of the violence when you got camaraderie around a sports team that can sometimes dampen negative situations. But I called in because of Mayor Aftab Pureval, and I've said this, and people, I don't know why we so we are so anti-group politics.
Yes.
So it's easy because when we talk about politics, we usually talk about a white man in power. We're talking about the white man in power, what he should be doing. Now we're talking about an Asian man in power and how he used us to get in power. And in one generation have more power than all of the politicians that we've been working on the last 20 years.
Okay.
And what that means for his community. Cincinnati is prime real estate, okay? This is a Fortune 500, Procter & Gamble, Kroger. You cannot wash your butt or eat a sandwich without it coming through Cincinnati. Cincinnati is the heart of America. If you look at Ohio, Ohio is the heart. It's the actual aorta of America. And so the life vein would be Cincinnati. Know who you are and the power that you yield by being a Cincinnatian. That's the first thing.
I agree.
I do not necessarily not empathize with migrants or immigrants. It's just that they are afforded certain privileges that we are denied. I hear you say sometimes that $15 an hour is not feasible.
Who?
Listen to what I'm saying. Kroger's is the largest grocer employer in America. They just had a strike in Denver. They just had a strike in California. They got to have another strike in California because they won't raise the wage to at least $16. So people are working, and they can have a use, and they're trying, and Black America really got to get a hold of that skill transfer and teaching the next generation the importance of service to others and having business skills. Because if you don't have your cashiers at the grocery store, you got them U-scan things. And they're trying to automate a lot of that basic labor so that they don't have to pay a living wage. They say 1 in 4 Kroger employees is food insecure or homeless. And that's throughout the country. And their CEO, he took a $22 million bonus. So in a capitalist society, it makes sense. But we're not a full capitalist society here. And Black people, we have been.
Still there? Uh-oh. I think we may have lost her. Let me see something. Marquetta, can you hear us? Marquetta? She fell off. She was on a roll too. She fell off. Marquetta, can you hear us? I'm gonna see if she'll call back. I just hung up just now to see if she'll call back. Maybe she got in a bad area. I don't know. The call was coming through pretty good. It didn't sound like she was calling from like a. Okay, there she is. I think she's calling back. Marquetta, you still there?
Yeah, I have to finish this statement to you.
I'm sorry, you just cut off. I'm sorry, you cut off on us. Go ahead.
Because I'm on my laptop. I'm sorry. I was
Okay.
just listening to you while I was doing some work. And it just got me to thinking. Notice when he went on Good Morning America, these people were chanting the first Asian American.
Yes, they were.
So you can't say that it's not important.
Right.
That was the first thing that they said. Before they even said.
Not only that, it was under his name, and it was defined. They made it very important. You see, it was under his name when they gave his name, and they described him as the first Asian American mayor of the city of Cincinnati. Go ahead, sis. I know where you're going. Go ahead. I love it. Bring it.
So the demographic, there's no taxation without proper representation. And that's why you have to have a Black woman on the Supreme Court. But in this case, these are the richest people in our area, the Asian American population. And yes, they are, and I said, he's going to bounce from being mayor to governor to senator and eventually president.
So, Marquetta, let me ask you a question. When you say that right there, are you under the belief, like some, that this was just a stepping stone for him because he's run for several things to create a political run for wherever he's trying to go? Do you really think he cares about Cincinnati, or you think this is just a stepping stone to build the resume? Because you just laid out he's going to be moving on and doing this, because he showed a pattern of doing that already.
Well, sister, you gotta. I'm from Cincinnati.
Okay.
I'm from Vine Hill. I'm from Avondale. I'm from the West End. I'm from Clifton. I'm from Mount Arvin. I am Cincinnati. I work downtown. I work at all these companies. I'm Cincinnati. I love Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a nice place to live. Do not be fooled. We are at the Ohio River. We have beautiful parks. We have a wonderful nightlife. It is nice here. It is easy to love our city. We embrace everyone. Am I wrong?
Listen, can I be honest with you? Here,
Sure.
Marquetta, when I moved back to, listen, when I came to Cincinnati, I had choices. I could have lived anywhere in the country. I chose to come back to Cincinnati because of it's where I grew up, and everything that you just said is one of the reasons why I came back to Cincinnati. You know, it's not going to be my retire spot because I don't do the weather, but as far as all my living, yeah, I went back to Cincinnati to build my career there because I felt it was a great city. I'm not going to live anywhere that it's cold when I get older and I retire off. That has nothing to do with Cincinnati. That's the only thing Cincinnati is missing is the great weather. Outside of that, everything you just said was on point. It's affordable.
This is accessible. This is prime real estate. This is little New York. If you live in Germany, this is the sister city to your city. They're international corporations. The point I'm getting at is Cincinnati is rich. This is not some poor little town. Cincinnati is rich, and I have to shift from. I think what a lot of people tend to think about me is that I just like to complain, but we've been dumbed down and fed a narrative as to say we're incapable of wielding power. We're incapable of handling our communities, of developing businesses. It's a narrative that's been handed to us that someone has to take care of us and be in charge of us. So it's easy for us to get behind these migrant immigrant Americans who will rise to power before you and use the social ills of your community as a means to rise to power, to say, look.
Oh, I think we lost her again. Marquetta, you there? I think we lost her again. Well, let me try to help out and finish what she was saying. I can't quite say it the way she was saying, but I agree with her to a certain extent. I don't know where she was going with the migrant situation, but I do know, I mean, I know where she was going. I don't know if I'm there yet. But what I will say is this, and I hope you're listening, Marquetta. We're gonna wrap up here. Feel free to call again, like on Monday. We can finish that up. But what I will say to her is when she says that Cincinnati is rich, it's definitely true. I could have lived anywhere in the country that I wanted to live when I got back. I had several places to choose. Cities that I had already lived in, New Orleans. There's other cities that I could have moved to. Atlanta. I chose to come back. I chose to go back to Cincinnati for almost everything that she mentioned. And I know how much opportunity is there. And I think where she was going, and I know where she was going when she said that we've been dumbed down and believe it's been us to be led to believe that we can't be successful in Cincinnati. I've been saying that. That's why you heard me make a comment from a comment that the mayor said. When the mayor said, look at me, when he accepted the mayor's job and he gave his speech, he didn't say nothing different than what Wyatt's been saying for 2 years. But when he said it, these Negroes was like, yes, yes. And most of the chaos agents think they got something coming from the man, so they always gonna be under the yes. They gonna love him. But he ain't said shit that I haven't said since March of 2020, and that is we can do everything they can do. We can do it. But here he come in with his acceptance speech, and I respect him for it. Matter of fact, damn it, I cheered for it. He comes in and says, look at me. I'm an Asian American man that show you. Now, he didn't even say America. This man came out and said it right in y'all face. He said, I'm an Asian American man who is showing you that you can be anything you want to be in the city of Cincinnati. That's what he said. He said it proudly. Now, when I say that shit, when I turn around and tell you, I'm an African American man from 1335 John Street, from the knocks, from the clocks to the cracks in the ground, from the cement walls. And I'm telling y'all, we can be anything we want to be in this city. It's plenty of money and plenty of opportunity. You just got to knock out some of that doubt and get rid of these brainwashed people around you who telling you you can't be shit and saying things ain't for you. When I say it, they tune out. He a coon. He ain't shit. He whatever you want to say about me. Whatever you want to say about me, you ain't saying it about him. What's the difference between him saying that we can be anything that we want to be in Cincinnati and he's proof that you can make it, and then I turn around and say, well, shit, hey, I come from the slums. He ain't come from the slums. He had everything that a lot of black folks didn't even have. Ask him how he grew up. What did he put in priority in his life? Was his parents in his life? Did his parents help him go to finer schools? Did he prioritize his life? Did he make education first? See, these are things that I'm just telling you, if we put first, if we do the same, if we follow his same blueprint, we can be exactly what he is. But see, if I say that shit, I'm a coon. I'm a dancing man. But you will let a chaos agent tell you all the wrong shit in the world, lead you to keep this mentality of failure, and it's somebody else's fault that we failing. You'll let them shove that shit down your throat all day, every day. Start your day out with that shit. End your day out with that shit. Remember the young brother? Remember the young brother that came on the show some time ago? He called in and he was like, bro, you always talking that shit. They ain't gonna let us open up no businesses in Cincinnati. You talking about being down by that stadium. They ain't gonna let us do nothing down there. They ain't gonna let us opening up no businesses down there. What the fuck? What you talking about? They won't even let us get no liquor license. But are they stopping you from a tax service? Are they stopping you from opening up an Uber? Are they stopping you from opening up services, oriented services? Are they stopping you from doing things that we are doing in this world today? Or are you just a Midwest Cincinnati dude that think all you got to do to be successful is open up a store that sell alcohol, fucking hot pickles and grippos and shit, and gotta have a liquor license to be successful in America. Is that your mentality, bro? Is that the only thing you think this world is offering us? The only way you can be successful is with a liquor license? Please. Get the fuck out of here. Come on, I've been past that stage a long time ago. I had a friend of mine. Y'all gonna hate this. You're gonna hate this. I had a friend of mine who got out of doing some time. And he thought he was gonna come back home and open up a store like what happened, what was going on 20, 30 years ago. You know, penny candy stores ain't gonna work these days, bro. You know, you can't sell 10-cent Dixie cups and shit like that and make it in this world anymore. You got to evolve. You got to progress. You got to get bigger and stronger. You got to outthink. You can't stay in the same thought process because time flies. Times go by. Things happen. Things change. The economy changes. The mentality of us could be our worst enemy. Do you get that? Our own mentality. And here's the thing. You ain't gonna like this. I don't care the yeses and the nos I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna read your comment. The yeses and the nos that I've ever heard in my life, I've never heard a no that I liked. Okay, I've never had somebody tell me, no, you can't do that, and I liked it. I've been told no, and I've said, okay, your no might mean maybe. Maybe not now, but maybe later. I've taken a no like that before. I've never been told no and was like, okay, yeah, I'm cool with it. Never. And it ain't gonna start now. But I will tell you this. I will say this to you. Every no I've ever gotten, I've never blamed it on the fact that I was black, when in fact it could have been. But if I got in a shell, if somebody told me no of a business deal, some type of situation, if somebody told me no, it wasn't my time, we don't want you right now, whatever, I'm not going to put that on because they told me no and I don't have a position because I'm black. I'm not going to put it on that. And it may well have been the truth, but I'm not going to put myself in that frame of mind if I didn't achieve something. Because what y'all don't understand, what a lot of people don't understand is there's a whole lot of people that don't give a shit what color you are. If you equity, if you can help them make money, if you're worth it to them, oh, they'll bring you on. That don't mean they like you. There's a lot of people in business that don't get along personally, but they will do business with you. There's a lot of businesses that will do business with you if you equity, if you worth something to them. And they'll use you up until they can't use you anymore. But you make sure you're in a position to get equity off of them. You get what I'm saying? So don't ever think that somebody ain't going to let you. This is 2022. Some of you are stuck in 1964 or 54. And you think that white people will hold you down and they will not make money off of you. They'd rather just not make the money than to see you make some money. No. This is a different world. This is a different world. If you're more valuable than anybody that they can get in that spot, if you can feel that, see, they're not quite like us. I heard somebody talking about black radio today. I heard somebody talking about it's puzzling how black-owned radio stations put white directors in charge of black people. That don't shock me. That don't shock me at all. But it also doesn't shock me when you find a white radio station owner who's playing to a black market and they go hire black executives. That don't shock me either. But the day that you think that they won't make some money off of you because you black, you just don't have an idea what's going on in this world. You just don't have a clue. Okay, Didi, Marquette, I'll check those videos. Jenny says no, but even Aftab's mom has or had one of those stores, correct? Yeah. I don't know for sure. I've never been in one, but the word is, I've heard some people even that called the show that said that Aftab's parents or his mom or whatever owned a store in the hood. Yeah, I mean, and they were entrepreneurs in our inner city, in our community. They were entrepreneurs. I don't see any problem with that. They did everything that was available for them. They did everything that was available to you if you knew how to do it. What's the problem with that? I see no problem with it. Matter of fact, they are the blueprint. I ask myself, y'all always talking about how do Asians make it and do things, and then they open up stores in our communities. They just doing something that we don't do. They doing something that's available for us. We just don't do it. We're not the entrepreneur. We don't have that entrepreneurial spirit like they do. They don't come to this country to depend on this country. They come to this country to put the work in to live the American dream. They don't have bosses. They create their own space, whether you like to hear this truth or not. And then what happens is now that generation who worked their ass off, who own those stores and those little pony kegs and them hair stores and all that old shit, while they sitting there carrying boxes. I watched Linda do it at A&S Wholesale. She busted her ass for 40 years in that store. But her kids didn't have to do that. Her kids were going off to Michigan University. They were going off to school, coming out astronauts and shit. Coming out making almost $200,000 and doing all kind of crazy ass jobs that we don't even imagine doing. So don't give me that shit. They don't come to this country all rich. They don't come to that country like that. What they do is they understand the opportunity and they seize the moment. And I can't say that a lot of people do that. I just can't. Some people might not agree with that, but I got several people that I can show you as receipts. Your mayor is one of them. His parents didn't have a whole bunch. You ain't got no whole lot of money. Bruh, trust me. You running one of them little stores in the neighborhood, you making okay money, but you can't classify yourself as being rich. That's not a rich man's game. Pony kegs in the neighborhood is not a rich man's game. Okay, it is getting some money. I ain't saying you're poor, but you ain't running no Fortune 500 over there. Okay, and it made enough to make a good living. I'm not downing it because I would do it myself. It made enough to make a good living to send their kid to private schools and to get their kid out of living that type of life and doing that type of business. He's a lawyer. He went through school several times. He got his undergrad, went to law school, became a politician 5 years later. He was a politician in 5 years. Get out of here. He has a plan. You just part of it. You just part of his plan. No disrespect. I haven't said anything derogatory about the man. I can just tell you that I see a pattern of behavior. I see a pattern. I see how people move. I see how he's moving like people who need other people. No different. I ain't gonna rock the boat. I'm gonna say some things because I know white people ain't gonna say nothing about the way I feel about black people. The only static I'll ever get, this is him. The only static I'll ever get is if I don't say this shit, then black people gonna be mad. But white people ain't gonna challenge him for saying what he's saying. They ain't gonna challenge. What white person gonna step up and say out loud on a platform or on a show, oh my God, AFTAB is really for the Negroes in Cincinnati. This is ridiculous. This is preposterous. They ain't gonna never say that. He's being safe in his public speaking. He know that black folks need to hear this shit. He know that. He know that. And he's taking the safe route. It's just like people that holler about the police. You will go down to the city hall, scream on their windows and their doors and write shit on the walls. You will protest down at city hall when a cop shoots somebody or do something wrong, or he shoot a kid. You'll go down there and protest at the police station, down at City Hall. You'll do all that shit. But find out that Lil Ricky shot a dude down at the pony keg store, and everybody in the neighborhood know it was Lil Ricky. Your punk ass ain't gonna go find Lil Ricky and put a sign in his face. Don't do that shit no more. We don't want your kind in the neighborhood. Y'all ain't gonna mess with Lil Ricky because you know Lil Ricky will bop you in your head. See, all them fake ass protest people, they kind of they lightweight be tripping. I know how they move. That's the easy, I'm doing something in my community. I'm gonna go down to City Hall. I want City Hall to do something about Lil Ricky. Lil Ricky a menace in your neighborhood. You won't even say nothing to his mama and them. You didn't let Lil Ricky be a problem in your neighborhood. And then when Lil Ricky get done a certain way, now you want to go down to City Hall and talk about how the police did Lil Ricky. This is the most backwardest shit I've ever seen in my life. And to be honest with you, it's so obvious to a guy like me. I know it's dysfunctional. And dysfunctional people, the only people that don't know that they dysfunctional are dysfunctional people because they think their dysfunction is normal. Normal people, people with some damn sense, can clearly see what's wrong with people like that. They're easily fooled by the same rhetoric. Like, how many times does a girl have to tell you you stand a chance with her, but she never lets you go out with her, fellas? How many times? Eventually you got to be like, oh, this bitch lying. She just playing me. I didn't pay her phone bill. I didn't pay this. I did that. I took it to the She ain't gonna never give me a real shot. It's been like 25 times and she still won't give me a shot. You've been played. But black folks can't never wake up to getting played. Never. It's always the next group gonna do better. Oh, we got new faces now. Shit gonna change now. Shit been changing. You had a black mayor in Cincinnati. Shit's still the way it is. What's changed? What's changed? Oh man, Cincinnati about to be off the hook. Told y'all we was blowing up. Look, we in the Super Bowl. Oh, like y'all predict. Y'all don't even want. 6 months ago, y'all was talking about the fucking stadium was a problem. You all don't understand the growth of it. Listen, Cincinnati could lose every year in football, and that stadium is worth being down there. Now you're starting to feel what it really feels like to win, and now you understand the economics of how powerful having a franchise in the city is. It's only 32 teams. 32 cities have a team. That's it. That's a valuable commodity. If you a city, if you understand the economics of the NFL being in your city, it's not just X's and O's. I told y'all a long time ago, I said, listen, I love them stadiums being there. The only thing that's missing is a winning product. If you get a winning, who remember that shit, bro? Am I like this many fucking frames ahead of this shit? Y'all don't remember me saying if we had a winning product, people would see the significance of having those stadiums in your city? You don't remember that? I bet you more people have made money off the Cincinnati Bengals this year, and I ain't talking about just betting. I'm talking about people who have entrepreneurial spirits, people that are making masks, people that are making Who Dey t-shirts, people that are making socks, people that are making things that are affiliated with the NFL and football. They are now picking up and getting more money and putting money in their bank account. That is a trickle-down effect of having an NFL franchise in your city. But you know what you'd rather do? Like Marquetta said, you got so many people brainwashed and so negative and they've been taught year after year, time after time, that we can't do shit, that you don't even know a good thing when you're sitting on one. You don't even know a gold mine because the gold ain't shining. You sitting on top of the tarp of the gold mine, and you're not even smart enough to lift the tarp up and actually see there's some gold under here. You got to wait for them to get to a Super Bowl to clearly understand how valuable everything around you is. And that goes for your local people too. That goes for the local voices that's been talking bad about the stadiums and all that old shit, wanting to renegotiate the stadium. Go ahead and fuck that up if you want to. It's over. They're going to the Super Bowl. Any deal that you negotiate with the Bengals right now, you will mess up what we got and they'll probably end up leaving. The only reason why the Bengals ain't left yet is because of the commitment that Mike Brown probably made to his father. And that is, listen, don't ever go anywhere. Don't ever go anywhere. And Mike Brown is still alive and he's honoring that. Now, I don't know what Katie and the rest of the kids going to do. Maybe Mike Brown will tell them the same thing. And for the grace of God, maybe they won't move the team to one of these major metropolitan cities and let them capitalize on great stadium deals that run in their favor. But everybody in the Cincinnati area got to figure out a way. We got to figure out, the black folks got to figure out a way to bitch about the stadium deals instead of trying to figure out a way to fit in. So if you one of them restaurants down at the stadium, right down in the route, right in the walking path, how would you feel if the Bengals left or the Reds left? That would totally not, winning or losing. That would totally knock away probably 75% of your business. The only people who bitching about them deals are people that don't know how to get in the way. They don't know how to stand in the way. But now with the Bengals winning, everybody want to be brain surgeons on how to get money now. Everybody want to be like, see, Cincinnati is growing. We this and we that. That shit been down there for 20 years, bro. Y'all just don't know how to get to the money. It's been there. Ain't nothing new. We going to the Super Bowl, but opportunity has been there. When the banks opened, how many of y'all went down there trying to open up a business? I'll raise my hand. I did. When Newport on the Levee opened, how many of y'all went down there to try to open a business? I did. I seen opportunity. But you'll take somebody's no and make it a no for yourself. You hear me? Some of you take no from what somebody else experienced, and then that's a no for you too. Well, y'all can sit in the no section together. You can sit in the this ain't for me section. Y'all can do all that shit together. Don't call me a coon because I take my steps. Don't call me a coon because I use all my resources or I position myself. Don't call me a coon for that. Don't call me a coon because I'm willing to be brainwashed to think that I'm not able to do something. And then I call out people for saying that they ain't. Get out of here, bro. You got to deal with a certain mentality. You got to deal with people who just don't know no better. And see, I'm not that guy. I'm not going to let nobody tell me. And to be honest with you, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get up out of here because a lot of people probably tired of my ass right now, the few that's on here. I'm going to just say this to you. I ain't never had a no come at me that, like I told you, I ain't never had a no come at me that I was okay with, right? But I ain't never had a no come at me and I felt like, look, he told me no, they told me no because I'm black. I ain't never had that. And even if that was the case, I would never think that was the case on purpose because I didn't want that rut. I figured if they don't want my money, then I'll figure out some kind of way to get my money somewhere else. But I'm not going to be a failure or I'm not going to even attempt because somebody didn't allow me to be where they at. That wasn't it. That was a no-go. I wasn't doing that one. That was never going to be my excuse. That was never going to be my excuse. My excuse was never going to be what somebody ain't going to let me have. That was never going to be it. That was never going to be it. You can best believe that was never going to be it. And now all of a sudden you got all these smart guys. Now you got all these smart guys that want to seem like Cincinnati rising up all of a sudden. Because of what? Didn't I tell you, I can't wait for the big business deal to happen in Cincinnati. And what y'all gonna do is you're gonna praise this new city council for big moves, even though they put these big moves over affordable housing. Now the shit gonna look like we on the rise. We making moves. We doing shit. Get the fuck out of here. Sometimes in order for you to understand business, it got to be from somebody that look like you. That's the only time you paying attention. You can't learn from people that look different. Did y'all hear what Reverend Lynch said this morning on the show? He said, I'm going in to sit down with 3CDC. I'm going to learn this shit. Now? Damn. Aren't we a few years late? No knock on him. Maybe they didn't open the door for him to come in. But that's always been my process. And if I say that shit, then y'all think I'm daydreaming. Oh, this nigga crazy. He dreaming. They ain't gonna let him do that. Y'all tripping. You can't do what they do. That's 3CDC. That's the white boys. The white boys always doing it. They this and they that. They this and that. Y'all feel better about them than you feel about yourself. And that be the ones calling me the coon. You feel like they got more power and more opportunity and position. You big them up. You lose without even going in the ring to fight. I'm the coon. Now, what do you call somebody put this one? I'm not good at insults, racial or not racial, but racial insult. I'm not good at calling people names like coons and bootlickers and shit that I've been called. I've been called all this shit by my own people. More people that look like me call me racial slurs than white people. Go figure. Go figure. Let me see here. Let me see. What's up, Stefan? Stefan Fane, what's good? He says, I believe the woke that Simple talks about the. I believe the woke that Simple talks about the sleep are just as bad as the sleep. Oh, I don't know if you're pertaining to me on that, bro. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm just telling you that a lot of people make it a little bit more difficult than it really is, because you got a lot of people that listen to people who say that shit ain't able to happen. And a lot of those folks ain't never even tried themselves. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, there's a lot of people that lead us, and they lead us in a position where they make you feel like, they have to sound smart. They really have to sound smart in order to keep their credibility upheld. And they'll tell you what you need to hear just to make you feel good, even though it might not even necessarily be true. And then we have our faith in someone that we think is a leader. It's some shit that I've watched. It's called manipulation, and I've seen it year after year, decade after decade. Sorry, that's just what it is. It's the world that I live in. Victoria Prince says, keep doing what you're doing, Wyatt. I love it. Well, I appreciate you. I'm glad you're not doing what you used to do. What time is it? Game time, Rue. That's my time, y'all. I gotta go. Let me get on out of here. I gotta do my exercise, and I'm going to the water for a few minutes. I appreciate you guys coming in. Let me see. I'll read these couple comments before I get out. Stephen Fane says that wasn't for you. It was for those that try to down you. I appreciate you, brother. I know you. I didn't think that you was like going right there with it. You know what I'm saying? Sabrina Callis says, when we find out who they are, that won't let us do anything. Please let me know. I won't be going in their direction. They ain't never stopped me. Sometimes you'll be surprised, Sabrina. The people that are telling you, the people who are keeping you from doing some things are a lot closer to you and a lot more familiar with you than the people you think that oppose you. You'll be surprised. Misery absolutely loves company. You'd be surprised. I know I'm a coon for saying what I'm saying, but I love my people so much that I just want you to know that we all can eat. We all can get it. Everybody don't start out talking that way. But once things start looking better, then they have to kind of shift in this direction and start saying the obvious. Or they will sound like the true dark cloud that they truly are. Some people can't even have a conversation unless they bringing up some shit that's bad for black folks. That's their whole day. They in the bitch line. They in the bitching line. They at the stadium in the bitching line. If they can't talk dark about us, if they can't say some shit, even us, our own people, if they can't be talking about, okay, some people right now on the edge, they ain't got no conversation for you until the next black man gets shot by the police. Then they gonna say, after months then went by, they gonna say this. Here we go again. They always do it. Well, wait a minute, hold on. That's not what's always happening. That's not what's always happening. And then you got some people that's fake playing like they care. Like they really care about black folks. You don't care enough to be critical of us. You don't care enough to be critical. You care enough to be able to say what they want to hear. Now, I just said something critical to two of the most, and I'm just going to be honest, two of the most highly noted blacks in our community in Cincinnati. Damon Lynch is a good guy. Irish Rowley is a great person, but I had to be me. When I talked to him, she said it on there. She said, Damon Lynch is speaking for me. I feel comfortable for that. What did I say? I said, hey, great. We had a great conversation, but you know what? He agreed with what I said. And I said, listen, man, the only thing y'all doing wrong is where I think I can help. And that is, y'all got to be more vocal at what you're doing. And you know what he said? He said, Wyatt, you're right. You're right. Now, why can't I be constructive criticism for him? They're smart people, but that's where we need to help each other. We need to help each other in areas that we're scared to talk about. I told him, I said, bro, y'all doing great work. I didn't know about y'all opening up the dang on the bank. I don't know about those things. Give me that to talk about. But if you don't talk about it and share it with the community, we'll never know. You'll never be able to get people out. It's more important. I said, there's 3 things important about that. We know you doing it. People know the kids know y'all doing it. And now we got something to hold as receipts when they say, nah, y'all can't get that Macy's building deal. That's my time, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I think I will. I'm pretty sure I will. 5 o'clock, let's get it. Have a great weekend. Holla. Peace.